lot of what happened in my work has to do with the tension between image and material. How does a simple arrangement of materials become a portrait, a landscape, sometimes things that didn't even exist, you know? This is because there's a split. There's a moment where we've learned to manipulate material to have as a resemblance to ideas. But it's always interesting to be reminded of this bind, that images are made of materials, you know. When we look at paintings, you actually have access to the surface, the most superficial membrane that is actually what brings us the meaning of what the painter was trying to say. But when you think about it, a painting stops in time the moment it's finished. The painter, the moment it's varnished, you know, that's what we have the vernissage, that's it. A painting that, say, Cézanne painted in the 19th century, even today, if you look at a Cézanne, you have exactly the same feel as he had the moment Cézanne finished it in the 19th century. The back of a painting, however, has a complete different story. It changes with time. You know, it's subjected to conservation fashionisms. It's subjected to the way the owners of the painting cared for it. In the back also it has the time, it has a record of every time that painting came to life, every time it was exhibited in a different country, in a different show, in a different museum. So it has this collection of little labels. The back of the painting looks like the artist's studio. It looks like it's actually when you show a painting to somebody, you have the back to you and the front away from you. There's which reminds us that paintings they are multidimensional objects. They are objects. They are like meaty. They have a structure, and this structure is what actually enables the painting to do what it does. Jorge Luis Borges has a story called The Disc, which he describes an object that has only one side. And once this object escapes from the hand of its owner and falls on its wrong side, it's lost forever. You know, we think of paintings in the same way. We think of them as unidimensional objects. What you see here is an inversion of values, where the front of the painting is the back, and the back is no longer important. You know, when we look at the back of the painting, we look at an object that has only one side, and it's the side we're not always allowed to see. But it's interesting that when we try to look, it's interesting that when we start to look for authenticity in anything, say if you have a sculpture, the first thing you look at the base. And in a painting, if you want to know if something is authentic, you look at the back of the painting. The back conveys its value, its real value, because it shows the painting as an object. About 10 years ago, I talked to a museum director at the Guggenheim Museum, and I asked her if I could photograph one of the back of the paintings. These images, they stayed as photographs with me for a long time because I didn't know what to do. The fact that I'm a photographer sort of prompted me to think of these images as photographs. I wanted to enlarge them and present them as pictures initially, but they were really boring. At one point, I decided, instead of doing that, to make sculptures and work photographically on objects. And what you see here in the show, they're photorealistic trompe l'oeils, but they're like they're not photos. They are like physical trompe l'oeils. They're done with the aid of high-resolution photography that are perfect copies of the paintings that you find in the museum. If you put the original, the back of the original, side by side to any of these paintings, you wouldn't be able to tell one from another. Now, in the gallery also you have the backs of the most famous photographs published in the New York Times. They are part of the collection of the Museum of Modern Art. The backs of press pictures in the past, they have all the labels, all the stamps of every time the picture was published. So it's a show that displays what we normally don't see in paintings and in pictures.